I'm still a rookie. I'm still figuring it out. Trying to find.
She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe.
Angel Reese has erupted in response to the Chicago Sky seemingly casting her aside in favor of Caitlin Clark, treating her like yesterday's news. Yes, you heard that right. The decision has sparked a wave of controversy, as many fans and analysts are stunned by how quickly the franchise has shifted its focus. Once hailed as a cornerstone for the team's future, Reese now finds herself overshadowed by the rising star power of Clark, leaving questions about loyalty, strategy, and the volatile nature of professional sports swirling in the air.
Down the miss, a reset to 7 seconds as she clears the line. Driving, stepping through, 2 points for Collins.
Angel Reese now finds herself engulfed in a firestorm of criticism and reflection, with many questioning whether the Chicago Sky's shift toward Caitlin Clark signals a deeper reckoning in the world of women's basketball. With her off-court antics, sporadic sideline presence, and a seeming focus on cultivating a social media persona, complete with viral TikTok dances, Reese's dedication to the game has come under intense scrutiny. Her absence during the decisive moments of the unrivaled league championship, where she missed not one but 2 pivotal playoff games including the final, only intensified the backlash. Despite not stepping foot on the court when her team needed her most, Reese still participated in the post-game celebration via FaceTime, a moment many viewed as a tone-deaf bid for attention rather than solidarity. Critics swiftly pounced, questioning how a player who contributed nothing during the most critical stretch could still claim the spotlight. Meanwhile, the likes of Brittany Sykes and others poured everything into the win, showing the grit and resolve expected at the professional level. This disconnect between media narrative and actual contribution has started to chip away at the once carefully curated image of Reese as the face of women's basketball. Her defenders argue that she's a once-in-a-generation talent and a vital part of growing the game. But does talent alone justify absence and erratic professionalism? If Clark or Aya Wilson had similarly ghosted during the playoffs, would the media have been as forgiving? The contrast couldn't be more glaring. Clark, hailed for her poise, discipline, and relentless drive, continues to redefine excellence. Her impact has been so profound that the Sky made the bold move of relocating games against the Fever to the United Center, the nation's largest basketball arena, signaling not just logistical necessity, but a franchise's full embrace of her rising star. Clark doesn't need drama. Her game speaks volumes. She breaks records, commands sellout crowds, and plays with a consistency and humility that inspire admiration from fans and franchises alike. As Clark's profile grows, Reese's begins to dim, not because she lacks talent, but because her narrative increasingly feels inflated, an echo chamber of hype that now struggles to keep pace with on-court realities. Reese's FaceTime celebration has become a meme of misplaced priorities, a symbol of style over substance, while Clark quietly continues to dominate. This divergence highlights a fundamental shift. Teams and fans alike are gravitating toward athletes who not only shine in the spotlight, but also do the unglamorous work behind the scenes. For Reese, this may be the turning point. The Sky's pivot toward Clark is more than a basketball decision. It's a cultural one. It signifies a new standard where discipline, reliability, and professionalism are valued over viral moments. Reese may have once embodied the movement, but now she must confront the uncomfortable reality that being marketable isn't enough if it isn't matched with consistency and leadership. As Clark continues her meteoric rise, filling arenas, capturing hearts, and embodying the future of the sport, Reese stands at a crossroads. Will she recalibrate, dig deep, and prove she's more than a highlight reel? Or will she continue to watch the game evolve without her at the center of it? Time will tell, but one thing is certain. The era of performative superstardom is giving way to one defined by substance, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. Angel Reese's narrative has increasingly become a complex blend of talent, theatrics, and tension, equal parts raw ability and unpredictable choices. While her skills on the court are undeniable, the larger question looming over her career is whether she can be counted on when it matters most. The Chicago Sky appears to have made up its mind, shifting their focus toward Caitlin Clark, who represents everything Reese has recently been accused of lacking: reliability, consistency, and an unshakable commitment to the grind. Reese, long heralded as a generational talent by the media and elevated by platforms like ESPN and TikTok, has benefited immensely from a publicity machine that seems more interested in spectacle than substance. Her face was splashed across headlines during the unrivaled league championship, despite missing the last 2 playoff games, including the championship itself. Her contribution? A FaceTime call during the celebration, an act that drew as much ire as it did confusion. Meanwhile, Clark has quietly broken records, led her teams with poise, and redefined what it means to be a star, all while receiving a fraction of the media attention bestowed on Reese. That disparity has not gone unnoticed by fans or critics. While Reese's rise has at times felt artificially accelerated, like a skyscraper built overnight, Clark's ascent feels organic, deeply rooted in work ethic and results. Social media has begun to rebel against the narrative forced upon them, labeling Clark the people's champion and calling into question the media's investment in Reese, especially given her spotty attendance in pivotal games. This all points to a broader question: what do we truly value in our athletes? Is it the substance of their performances or the stories that can be spun around them? Clark challenges the status quo, forcing a reevaluation of what stardom in women's basketball really means. The Sky's move to center their attention on Clark isn't subtle. It's a calculated pivot toward a player who not only delivers results, but does so without drama. For Reese, this shift must sting. The team's public prioritization of Clark reads less like a strategic choice and more like a message. They want grit, focus, and professionalism, not media flair and off-court distractions. And therein lies Reese's current dilemma. Her reputation, once buoyed by viral moments and championship confetti, is now teetering under the weight of scrutiny. Her absence from crucial games wasn't just a missed opportunity. It was interpreted by many as a betrayal of her teammates' trust, a red flag that she might be more invested in her image than in the game itself. Even respected commentators like Jason Whitlock have joined the chorus, lambasting what they see as an overhyped portrayal of Reese and pointing out the stark gap between her media profile and her recent output on the hardwood. Sponsors and fans are paying attention. Clark, by contrast, has built her empire quietly and deliberately, letting her games speak louder than any PR campaign ever could. She's early to practice, locked in during play, and always leaves everything on the court, exactly the kind of athlete franchises want to build around. In Clark, the Sky doesn't just see talent, they see the foundation of a winning culture. Meanwhile, Reese's persona, once seen as magnetic, now runs the risk of being perceived as problematic. Rumors swirl that her off-court behavior has caused friction, her commitment questioned, and her brand weakened. The backlash isn't just digital, it's structural. For Reese, the clock is ticking. The comparisons to Clark are inevitable and only growing louder. She stands at a crossroads: double down on the brash persona that's garnered attention, or pivot toward a more grounded, team-first mentality. Because while flash might win headlines, substance wins championships, and Clark is proving that in real time. This isn't just a rivalry between two players, it's a cultural shift in how women's basketball is perceived and marketed. Clark isn't just playing the game, she's reshaping it. Her trajectory is about legacy, about setting a new standard for what a modern women's basketball superstar looks like. Reese can still rise, but it'll require more than media soundbites and social media swagger. It'll take showing up consistently, selflessly, and when it counts. Because in this era, talent alone isn't enough to stay on top. You've got to earn it every single night. And right now, Caitlin Clark is doing just that.